Soundstripe.
What's up, world? This is Still Biz, and this is another episode of Thought OPPS. We got a guest this week. And you have my co-host over there, E Bizzle.
Man, come on with that.
Yeah, well,
Whack.
What is it then?
I mean, just call me EP, man.
Okay. Which sounds like Bizzle. But yeah, my information, my Instagram, it's gonna be right up top.
Oh man, don't try to take my Don't try to take my whole. No, go ahead and do your.
Well, mine's gonna be up top too, so it's always up top.
You
So
know,
it doesn't matter. Mine's is gonna be right here then. All right, go ahead, Eric. Introduce yourself. I'm done.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. I'm EB. You'll see Mr. Credentials in the description. You see all my stuff up here. So.
Yeah, we got a guest this week. Introduce yourself, guest.
How y'all doing, everybody? This is Darius LaVette. Go by No Comfort Zone on Instagram or Trestle on Instagram. So nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, I brought Darius on this week because me and Darius have worked on a bunch of projects before together. Some good stories, some bad stories, some real good stories, some real bad stories. I'm just playing. No, but yeah, Darius is very talented. He actually is a videographer and a photographer. He does it all.
He's very good one.
Yeah, he's like a Jamaican. He has a whole bunch of jobs.
Every episode, it's Jamaica.
Well, Jamaicans have a lot of jobs. Yeah,
we know you from Jamaica, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, just to add to it, like I did my DNA, I definitely have Jamaican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now he about to.
That's why he has a lot of jobs.
It's in there.
Yeah, so his DNA says he has a lot of jobs. So Darius is on the show this week. I had a really great week this week. Working now, I'm reading a new book called Jack, and it's not really giving what it was supposed to give.
Why you look at me as soon as you read the book?
Because you be hitting on the books I'll be reading. But this book is really, I'm gonna finish the book. But what I'm in a book club, and I'm actually reading another book called The Awkward Black Man, and they want me to like write some questions. The people that's in charge of the book club want me to, because but it's like I gotta reread the book now.
I feel sorry for them.
I feel sorry for me rereading this book. So they want me to reread the book and help them with some questions. It's called The Awkward Black Man by Walter Mosley. Reading Jack by Marilyn Robinson. So it's another story about a black man, and The Awkward Black Man is about a bunch of black men. But anyways, my week was fun. I had a really good week. I'm trying to think of anything exciting. I mean, except for stuff that's going on with people and different, like I'm sure y'all familiar with Fetty Wap. He doing a 6-year sentence for drug trafficking because he said times got hard during the COVID situation, so he had to go sell drugs. And when times get hard, the first thing you do is go sell drugs. No, I'm just joking. but that's what he said. That was his allegedly. That was his excuse for the drug trafficking because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And with a pandemic, drug trafficking is a must.
Yeah.
It's a joke. But Gap is reportedly suing Kanye West for $2 million. I guess Kanye went in allegedly when he was working with Gap. They gave him like an office, but Kanye, being Kanye, went in and he was like tearing down the building. Like he put out in the parking lot. Mind you, they gave you an office in the parking lot. He made like a ramp. See, because Kanye cared about the handicap, so he made a ramp in the parking lot for easy access to the building. He was paid. Well, I guess he was doing more than what he was supposed to do. So they gave him an office, and he said, "Oh, office. I'm Kanye, so this is a building." Oh, man. And then he, he did his Kanye thing.
All right, the next time,
Okay, next time. Okay. Because you when you don't like somebody, you don't want to talk about them. But I like talking about people I don't like. I feel like that makes the show better. Like, because it's a couple people.
I can see, like, even if I don't like him, I can see what the topic is. What we talk.
And it's like I don't not like Kanye, so it's like I can talk about it. But
he got enough foolishness. So.
Yeah, John. Why did I say Jay? John Morant. He left. But no. he left a cryptic message online, and it said bye. And me personally, if somebody thinking about like ending themselves or anything like that, that's when I put out my empathy.
Somebody want to use the mental health excuse.
See, but you don't know, because you never know what people are thinking in their mind. You don't know what they're going through. So with that topic, I myself personally gonna leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Somebody put bye. I know you like somebody's daddy. Well, you are somebody's daddy. but you like somebody mean daddy. Like, hey boy, you gonna use that mental health? We ain't about that. We about living life and being the best that we could be. But go ahead.
But then Nike released his shoes anyway, and then the shoes sold out. But they got rid of Kyrie and all that other stuff.
Okay, it's commerce, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is conspiracy. A lot of it
Jackson gone, they still sell his stuff.
And rest in peace to
Prince.
the late Tina Turner. Like, man, rest in peace, Tina Turner. That's a part of a lot of our childhood, like listening to Tina Turner's music, and just like the diversity in her music, where she's a black woman that could do rock and roll, and just being able to bring it back to pop, not pop, but soul. Yeah. And I remember being a little kid and seeing Tina Turner on that. What's that show she used to be on?
A TV show?
It was a TV show with the racing and stuff, and it was like people watching it. And when I edit, I'm gonna put the show on there, because it's like I can't remember the show, but it was a show where a Dirt Devil type show where there was like in that, you don't remember, that was like that means I'm a little bit older than y'all.
Was she in a movie? Was it a TV show or a movie?
It was a movie or a TV. It was a movie or a TV show.
Got me with that.
It was a TV.
Know.
Was it I can't. Mad Max. Was it Mad Max?
It was Mad Max.
It was Mad Max.
It was Mad Max.
And it was a show.
That was with Mel Gibson.
Was it a show or a movie?
I don't know.
That was with Mel Gibson. It was a movie. That was a movie.
Oh,
and she was
but she did something else too.
Yeah,
so
she was one of the leaders. Yeah.
So Tina Turner.
Mad Max and Thunderdome, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, rest in peace, Tina Turner. And that's enough of my week. How was your week, E?
My week was uneventful.
Pretty good.
Yeah, tomorrow I have the opportunity to volunteer at the Martin Luther King library, doing some things or whatever, be doing my volunteer work. So doing that. One thing I would like to say is shout out to all the graduates in the school year, all the college graduates, all the high school graduates,
elementary.
Yeah, elementary, all of it. Excellent job, everyone, and just
everybody from elementary, kindergarten, from
this is my week though.
From diploma to GED to
good enough diploma, good GED, good enough diploma. Hey, whatever makes you a better person.
Yeah,
hey, I'm
and you could go to college off of GED, and you can get a better job off of GED.
Yeah, nothing
whatever
wrong.
Type of education it is that works for you, that's the education.
Hey, look, I'm like in my 40s and I'm still in college. So hey, just keep it moving. So, but I mean, my week, that's it.
How was your week, Darius?
My week was filled with a lot of stuff. It was a situation I had to deal with at a graduation yesterday, and it was very testing. But for the most part, I say the week was productive because I'm always working on expanding the horizon in your mind.
Exactly.
With perspective, understanding, comprehension. You can know how to communicate with people better when you know more about yourself, and you know more about what your likes are, what your dislikes are, what your negatives are, what your positives are. And once you fully know yourself, then you can understand people and comprehend people across from you. So I do that work like all the time. So that's like every week. So I can say every week is always productive because of that self-work.
Yeah, it's
a lot of very mental health effective week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people need to do some self-work. A lot of people a lot of people think that they don't have issues, but we all have issues.
Like I told you last week what I'm doing. Like I'm expelling a lot of negativity out of my life. And if that means people, then people gotta go too. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been like really working on, and it's not that I'm like angry with people, it's that I'm trying to make myself better. Yeah, and sometimes you gotta be selfish.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta put that focus on the positive. leave that stuff in the past and like, let's move forward.
Because I feel like as Black people, we just now realizing how important mental health is.
Yeah.
You know, because in the past we didn't. Because think about it, in the 80s, we didn't know how important health period was. I mean, people was eating collard greens and chitlins and stuff like that, and thought it was something important. And I'm saying the way that we ate was worse. I'm saying the way we ate that was worse. So we realized that.
Hey, there's some people that still eat like that now.
But the thing about it is, if you try to get a result as far as being healthy, that's not the way to eat.
Yeah,
now you start realizing that, you know, like we realize that it ain't about the fat in the food; it's about the carbohydrates in the food. So you start figuring out the science of the food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like mental health, you start realizing like these mental health things. That stuff keep you alive a little bit longer too.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, you got anything to say, Darius, on those topics that he read off, or?
Any one of those right there?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, so you touched on Ja with the mental health thing, right? I think the challenge for the young athletes, the young professional athletes, like even college now, because you know they got that whole thing with certain colleges, they pay the kids to play ball, which I wish I had that. Man, oh my God, like I wish I had that. But anyway, I think he's 23. Y'all know. The thing, most of the thing is like, so we can look at the age as a problem, but it's not really the age. It's more so maturity. Like maturity is just understanding responsibility and accountability, right?
Exactly.
And then also being able to, stand on your square. And no matter if it's good or bad, you are learning the lesson. So whether you learn a lesson from a positive aspect or you learn a lesson from a negative aspect, right? Yeah. Either way, the learn part of it, if you use etymology, you split the word up, you got the L, you got earn, right? Yeah. So the L is what? Like what is the two things you got in your body? You got your eyes and you got your ears. Yeah. So you just look and you listen. Yeah. And then that's where you earn your information, and then once you earn your information, then you learn, both come back together and you learn how to be a better person. I think with Ja, he has to listen and learn more.
I agree.
But when you live in a commerce world like we do, and you have social media, you have all this freedom, your maturity level actually has to rise more, as opposed to back then when we didn't have so much exposure, and more of it was based on like civil rights and all that, and education.
Go ahead. Real quick. I'll say something real quick. Just to piggyback off what you're saying, the thing about it too of the matter is that we have this false idea of reality, which is called social media. Social media is not real.
And accepted.
And people are trying to be accepted. So the thing that I was thinking about today is how we look at people. Like for instance, people be like, I don't have anything against this person, but like Soulja Boy. Okay. Soulja Boy has like a loud persona, and and then I know people be like, man, I listen to Soulja Boy. Like Soulja Boy be talking that real. Soulja Boy be talking that mess that makes Soulja Boy become popular because he's such a shock value, and people be like trying to look at these people like these are not these people's actual real lives. Yeah. So we have an idea, and people see these things, and that's how they base their life. Off of these things, just like these women base their life off the housewives and stuff like that. But that's not their real life. They are entertaining you. And guess what they have? They probably don't even have a script, but they have a producer telling them how to act in this scene. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like sometimes people basing their real life off fiction.
Yeah, and then a lot of times when people are successful too, you have enablers. And if you've been successful, like I don't know, like Ja's history or whatever, but a lot of times you see like people that's good in basketball, high school, and college. You have people that would enable them instead of telling them what they're doing wrong, because they're popular. They know they're gonna make it to the league. They know they're gonna make money. So you have people that would enable them even though they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Instead of you having that that them people around you, they need to pull you to the side like, hey, this is not right. This is not what you should be doing. And everything. So I mean, with him, I hope he get his life together. I mean, I don't hate the guy or whatever. It's just I just hope he get it together and just not have any more incidents.
And being enabled is easier through social media now. Yeah. Because like before, people didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so now it's kind of like it's kind of like, let me read these comments. Oh, they love me. They love me. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know you.
And they not paying you.
And they don't know the real you. Because the real you is no, I'm just playing. But go ahead, Darius. Darius, like any new projects you working on right now?
Yeah, I'm actually working on some projects. A lot of them is so I stay in the shadows a lot. You know what I mean? I worked on like a lot of stuff that people don't know about, and you know, sometimes I get, you know, recognition for it. Other times I don't. Does it bother me? Not really, you know, but I am a person who looks at it like, you know, if somebody does something for you and they actually help to expose you, or, you know, market you better or whatever, you should just, you know, give a little small shout out, you know what I'm saying? Or give some type of acknowledgement to that, because at the end of the day, the one thing that I learned from being behind the camera is that a person who has a knowledge base of vision, and they can see you or see whatever, and they able to manifest that for you, and that's something that you couldn't do on your own. Exactly. You know, that person is a valuable asset to you, because you know, maybe that person did it, you know, in a way where nobody else could, because it's a lot of people who's very creative. You know what I'm saying? I run into them all the time, but sometimes a lot of us don't, like, certain artists can do certain things for certain people because they can see the vision better than the other artists. It doesn't mean that artist is bad. It just means that they can see it better.
I mean, I've worked with you before, and I know that you're very creative, and I know that sometimes some people are very emotionally immature, and they don't know, like, they need to learn more about what they're doing with their self before what they're doing with their projects too. So I've been in that situation too.
And plus, I mean, you got real good energy too. You know, you don't come across as like, you know, narcissistic or cocky or anything like that. So you real knowledgeable about, you know, what you do and how you do things and everything. And I know a lot of times when you behind the scene, those people are forgotten. And those are the people that really put the whole, you know, basically those people are important, you know, because they put the whole thing together. They're the one that's shooting, getting the right angles, getting the right shots. And that really adds on to, you know, the whole acting and, you know, what you see on the screen and everything.
Absolutely.
I know if I'm editing something, you the first person I'm going to call. Yo, dude, why this ain't edited right? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you work with people like myself, you know, and yourself too. You know? It's like creative differences. Like, we're creative and they're different. But
yeah, actually, one of the projects I exposed is it's called Savior. I'm working with Keith Collins on that. Savior is I think he's turning into a TV series, I think, but it's basically a story about it's a black man, you know, who is a like symbiont or a symbiote type being. And
could you explain what a symbiote is?
Yeah, because
some people gonna be like, I'm a Christian.
I was looking at,
I ain't watching that because I'm a Christian. You talking about symbiotes and
I was looking at it still.
So like think about it like
symbiont. I know what it is.
So I didn't know what it was.
So think like a sort of like an android who has you know, the part biology human, other biology is
like Terminator.
Basically, you know, something like that.
Because I knew what it was, but I know a lot of people not gonna know what it is.
I read books, so I know what it is.
No, it's cool. I mean, the best part about like not knowing offhand is it gives you an opportunity to go research. Like,
the best when you don't know.
Because I was gonna research it after the show.
Because the best part about you not knowing things is you could come and ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, so I'm dumb. So.
No, he's not. Because if he was dumb, I wouldn't be doing the show with him. But he's just not as smart as me. I'm joking. I am joking.
But it's a cool. It's gonna be. It seems like it's gonna be a cool show. You know, we just started filming it. You know, last week actually.
Okay, cool.
And it's pretty cool. They turned into like these like ninja like, you know, like I said, you know, things and like, so basically, but the whole purpose is that he's there. He comes to Earth to try to save the people. Okay. And it's another one that shows up to destroy the people. Gotcha. And so they end up fighting each other so that way he tries to stop him, and then that's the whole, you know, story. So we're working on that, and it's a lot of effects. You know, he got costumes and stuff.
Okay,
so
cool.
there's gonna be a lot of stuff in there. And so on that project specifically, I've done so far filming and also on set effects. So like, you know, creating you know, like force pushes or, you know, energy being dispersed out, you know. So that's basically what I've done on there so far. And the other projects, obviously y'all know that I worked on The Lick.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
The
Lick.
We don't know what the Lick is.
So
yeah.
It's funny. Y'all know what it is.
Because
both y'all
really.
But yeah, no, it's a TV show, you know, here in Cleveland, done by Ricky Walker and Tish, and then you know Terrence.
The Lick, the Lick is where it's at. I love working with the cast of The Lick. Those are really great people to work with.
Absolutely.
You walk away, go home, and you feel good. Ain't no drama. It's just a great atmosphere.
Get ready for the new episodes too. You might see some people that you know.
Yeah. So that's the other part. Yeah. You know that. Yeah, so, you know, I know I'm pretty sure everybody was a little bit upset about it being like 3 episodes.
But the other 3 episodes are coming soon.
Yeah, but they're coming. Yeah, they're coming. They're being put together. So just have some patience and, just enjoy the season 2, you know, the first 3 episodes. But outside of that, The Cap, you know, was released finally on Shein TV, I believe. And it's a full movie, you know, so, you know, make sure you check that out. And then after that, what else we got? That's about it.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Well, y'all go check out Savior when it come out. Make sure y'all support that.
It's at Key. Was it Key Cole? I think it's at Key.
And if you haven't checked out The Lick yet, make sure y'all check out The Lick.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out.
The Lick. Yeah, definitely on Tubi.
Okay, you got them questions ready?
Yeah. Oh, can we get into something real quick though?
Yeah.
Like
argument?
No. This dude, man, I thought we was getting rid of that negative energy. You said that last episode.
Oh,
now you.
I thought we're getting rid of you. Last episode.
Now you about to renege.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, but something that you posted about the color purple.
Oh yeah, you've been waiting all week to talk about this. Man, I already told you how to think.
What are you talking about, the old one?
No, they're coming out.
Okay, they're okay.
Let them take it over. Go ahead.
All right, this is the thing that upsets me about this guy right here. But this is The Color Purple was a great movie.
Wait, hold on. What you mean?
The Color Purple.
Yeah, I know. You talking about the old school one, right?
The old school.
Yeah, the one.
What was with Whoopi Goldberg
and
Oprah and
Danny
Glover and. One of my favorite. I feel like The Color Purple growing up. I feel like that was like a drama, a comedy. It's classic. It's a classic. Great acting.
A classic.
Just a great writing. I read the book too, and I said that he was mad when I said that. I was like, dude, I said no. I wrote.
He was like,
parentheses. Which I've read the book.
And then he was like, no, I think you put there's a book to it or something.
No. You read it as there's a book to it because you thought that's what I was writing because I got to. You know what I'm saying? But I wrote. I said read the book. So they decided to remake The Color Purple, and they have Chloe Bailey. They have Fantasia. They have
her.
And it looks like it's gonna be great. It looks like it's gonna be dope. And Color Purple one, I know the Color Purple was great, but the idea what they're doing with this is because their Color Purple is also a musical too, so they're giving it a more of a musical effect with also a movie making effect too, and they're redoing it that way because sometimes theater is not that old. Right, the theater is old. But filming is not that old. So redoing ideas and stuff is kind of like it's okay to do that. But there's people like you who feel like they shouldn't redo ideas.
This is a disclaimer because I will support it, and I'm not telling nobody not to support it. But I think the reason why
he was just hating when the
reason why I think I have an issue with it is because the time period that we in, they keep redoing everything. You see, they redoing White Man Can't Jump. They redid House Party. They redid
House Party was.
What else? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
which is great, which is awesome.
Like sometimes classics, sometimes classics should just be left alone.
But this is my thing too. I feel like it's a celebration of the classic that's already done.
Okay, I can understand that, but sometimes people get into this thing where they want to compare instead of just.
Does that have
instead of just it being a class? Now they want to compare. Now they're going to want to compare the new one to the old one, and they're going to be like. Then it's like when you compare. A lot of times people compare, they put things down. So they're going to be like, oh, why did they have this person play this role? Because they didn't do as good as such and such.
But is that more about the classic, or is that more about people? Because I feel like you're upset about people. Like you're looking at it like, oh, I'm gonna be mad because this person's saying this. But the classic and them redoing the classic and them showing some type of respect and homage to the classic that's done.
Well, that's what the award, that's what award shows is for.
Okay. No, there's anything that could pay homage. Us reciting the lines from Friday, because we probably all know Friday.
What do you think, man?
I think that it's a universal law of duality. That's all. I mean, you can't have one without the other. So, in order to know that a classic is good, when you remake it, you can compare the best between the two. But one of them is original thought, the other one is not. But then again, is original thought really original thought?
Drop the mic.
Hey, I'm just going off this, and I'm just talking to my
because you were being super negative,
and I'm just talking about my people. You know what I'm saying?
Because I posted online, and here come Eric, always Mr.
It's gonna always be a compare and contrast when you create a new one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, yeah, it's gonna take the attention away from the original. However, let's look at it like this. Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Michael Jordan would be considered a classic. LeBron James would be considered a new. Right? So,
yeah. But
they're two different people.
Two different people, but we talking about like careers, which is entertainment, right?
Right.
So they're entertaining you through basketball.
Just like, this might not be connected, but even talking about like the verses, like I have never watched the verses.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's
you did bring up the verses when
because it's like when you watch the verses, instead of you celebrating the two people that's going together, it's like, oh, I'm gonna use SWV for example. Who did SWV go against? Escape. It's like, oh, SWV had this many hits. Oh, it's like you don't have to put one group down in order to build another group up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Even though the fact that
it's like with us, especially when it comes to music, it's like we always have to compare. Like somebody always has to win. When it's like nobody has to win. They both, just like how you always say, two things could be right at the same time. Well, they all could be great. It's like, why do we always try?
Don't be trying to use my sayings against
me. Psychologically, I think it's just a whole.
It's a humanistic thing.
Yeah, it's libido dominante. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody has this thing where.
What? You don't call me out my name. He just said dominante. My name's Terrence, bro. I'm going
to look that up.
No, that's what it's called. It's libido dominante. Basically, it's just the thought process of being, number one and having control over everybody's interests.
And it's always been like that.
Always,
since ancient days.
Everybody has it inside of them to a certain degree.
Dude, think about it. The Roman days when they used to get on the thing and they chop heads off and stuff like that. Yeah. Think about it like tribal people that fight against each other. It's just that we compare ideas as human beings, and then we always want to be like, who's better?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just looking at it like I don't want one to take the attention away from the other one. I don't want the new one to, downplay the old one, and I don't want the old one to, the downplay the new one. Because,
I don't think it would never do that because in your mind, you already know where the classic is at and you know where the modern day one is at. So it's not going to be like that to you. But to other people, which is the part that I was talking about with the libido dominante, you can't, you got to understand there's no control over that. Yeah. It's just a perspective. And everybody has, and they're entitled to their perspective subjectively, right? Mm-hmm. However, as long as that subjective perspective doesn't alter yours, you know what I'm saying, then you can kind of maybe appreciate why they like the new one versus not liking the classic.
And if you think about it, like some of these people, like my nieces and my nephews and your son too, like they not gonna know the old one. Yeah. So it's kind of like this is an introduction to something that we experienced to them.
I mean, they could know the old one if he decides to present it to them.
Yeah. But they're going to be watching it. This is ancient stuff.
I mean, that's because they're used to a certain level of
quality. And I'm telling you, try to show them something old. Try to show these younger people something old. They do not want to see it.
That's like somebody trying to that's like somebody trying to redo The Godfather or The Godfather 2.
Why wouldn't they though?
Them is classics.
But why wouldn't they?
I mean, conceptually, they've done it. Conceptually,
I just feel like sometimes
took the concept.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes
Like Goodfellas. Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, like sometimes it's the time
Casino.
period. You know what I'm saying? It's the time
Casino.
period. It's the actors. It's all
the elements.
Yeah, all the elements just have to be right.
Okay, Casino was one of my favorites, but go ahead.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. It's just sometimes you just can't read. Just like they talk about redoing Scarface, like you can't redo. You know what I'm saying? It's just
that'd be tough.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I'm about to say one that's gonna be like, dang, they need to redo the Mac. Y'all remember the Mac?
Richard Pryor.
Didn't they redo one of those?
Richard Pryor was in the Mac, and so was he just passed away. What's his name? Rudy. What's his name? What's his name?
I don't be knowing people.
Antonio Fargas was in there too.
Wait, who just passed away?
The main star. Hey baby, the main dude.
Oh my God, I can't remember.
Rudy Ray Moore? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
can't remember. His
like,
name. But you're right. Like I forgot celebrities die in threes for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Like they redid Superfly, and it was.
Oh yeah.
It was.
And they tried to do the new age super. You know what I'm saying?
It was not that great, but it was a good attempt. I just think that sometimes when you try to redo stuff and you don't have the right financing for redoing it, it's gonna like House Party. They probably put a lot of, but House Party was.
I ain't even seen it, so I can't.
It was, in my opinion, it was one of the worst movies I ever saw. And somebody from Cleveland is in there. What's his name? I
didn't see it.
Shout out to him, but what's his name?
I saw like the tail end of
What's
it.
the dude name from Cleveland? The dude, the rapper, dude from Cleveland. Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was in there.
Oh yeah.
Kid Cudi was in there, and it was. And I'm not saying Kid Cudi did a bad. He did a great job. Yeah. It's just the writing was so horrible.
I only caught the end of the movie.
Dude, they had an Illuminati.
I didn't even know it was House Party
scene in there.
Yeah, I didn't know it was House Party.
It was like Illuminati scene. I'm like, what's going on? But yeah, okay. So the question.
That's all I had to say about that. So
we need to get these questions together.
Oh, okay. So this week we have two more topics.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
So the first topic is religion versus science.
He about to start saying some big words. What did you say, Illuminati? What did you say the word was?
La vida dominante?
That's how don't y'all name y'all kid that. No, that's my son, La vida dominante. God bless you.
And the second topic is marriage outside of race. So what I did is, we got two topics, but I made like four. So there's two number ones and two number two. Just to,
oh, you are so smart. See, you
You're so smart. Man, you a straight.
No, I meant to say that quietly.
I will talk about something else off camera.
Oh man. Yep, you good.
So the guest picks it, and I gotta flip it around.
Yeah, last time, man, you slammed the bowl down too, man. Make sure you know the bowl is part of the
set.
Yeah, the bowl is part of the Thought OPPS.
It take you that long to ball up for a piece of paper, but he looking inside. I don't trust Darius. Cause he ain't.
Boy,
I don't trust it. The way he was looking at that. That was the leader down the
That dude sound like a name, don't he?
I can't even say it. The leader dominante.
No worry, he can be saying it next episode.
It's basically like libido and dominant or dominate.
He gonna be saying
libido and dominate.
Like,
don't be naming y'all
two things.
This my son, Libido Dominante. Yeah, do not do that. Go ahead.
Oh, there you go.
I bet you it's one.
You already know what it is? It's one.
I know.
Religion versus science. Oh man, still been waiting to talk about this.
No, I actually didn't even get prepared. But I did think mentally what I was going to say. But religion versus science, I know that a lot of people believe, like black people, they believe that in Christianity. They have a strong belief in Christianity. And then there's people that argue the point that the dinosaurs was here, or human beings was here for trillions of whatever human beings, and there's humans, there's Neanderthals, and what's the third one called? There's Homo erectus, Neanderthals.
You got Homo sapien. You got what we were before we were engineered.
Yeah, so sometimes science does kind of go outside of religion. So, and then we have people that are like atheists. We have people that are religious. We have people that are what's that called? Non-agnostic or.
Oh yeah, you got agnostic. Yeah, so you got spiritual, agnostic, atheist,
and
religious.
Yeah, we have these people, and I just think that sometimes, sometimes religion actually causes people to be eviler than just people that are being spiritual too. But the reason why I put science is because sometimes people will kill for religion. You know how much wars religion started?
Yeah.
But and then we have does the science negate the fact that that God exists? Sometimes people think that science negate the fact, or it speaks away from the existence of God. I myself personally believe in God. I believe in God. I am learning more about how to believe in God the older I get.
And I'm not gonna lie, the older I'm getting, I'm kind of questioning, things or whatever, instead of just like, I know when I was younger, going to church and Sunday school, a lot of it was just drilled into you. And no offense to anybody's religion, but I think at times, and this is just me speaking from my experience, I think the Bible is used, as Black people, I think the Bible and religion is used to scare us instead of really helping us, because it's used more as a weapon to cause fear that we shouldn't.
God is a jealous God.
Yeah, that we shouldn't do this or we shouldn't do that. And I'm just gonna give you an example from like me growing up. It's like times when I would do something bad, I would get told, by either my father or, elders in the church, like, oh, that's because you're not living right, because you're not reading your Bible and everything like that. But then it's just like, well, why does that, discount for me? Because I see other people doing the same thing and yet they're prospering.
Well, sometimes too, not to be play devil's advocate, but sometimes the people are prospering because the devil don't even want them to even pay attention to God.
Yeah, true that. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So prospering coming from them having a non-belief in God, and I'm not saying that's what I feel. I'm just saying that could be. I'm saying that could be an argument. An argument could be, because if you believe in the devil and you believe in Satan and God, for instance, sometimes that way of thinking could actually add to that, where those people are doing better because the devil don't want them to pay attention to God because he feels that they're doing this without him. Yeah. But go ahead.
Oh, you asking what? So I mean, for me, when it comes to religion is a discipline. Discipline is something that you put together to have people I don't want to say control, but everybody moving in on one heartbeat and moving in the same direction. So you got different religions out here. You know what I'm saying? So does one kind of like trump the other one? Well, that's where you got to go into your own research. You know what I'm saying? When you go into your research all of them. If you're a Christian, you should research every other religion because you should understand, like, are they saying the same thing conceptually? So if they're saying the same thing conceptually, then you can see where the differences is at in the discipline. However, the thing that I would say is universal is spirituality, because everybody has the same thing inside of them. Everybody has a heart, they have lungs, they have kidneys, you know what I'm saying? They have bones, they have muscles, and they need the breath to breathe, right? And so it's blood and all that. So if you look at it from that aspect of things, then that's when you get into the scientific part of it. And then the scientific part of it, like for instance, let's look at it like this. Mathematically, let's think about this. Adam and Eve, quote unquote, in Christianity, it's impossible for them to populate 8 billion people here. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do the math, they would have to like have like 2 million babies or something like per month or per day or something like that. They're just them two.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you gotta think about it. Like that's incest too, right? And it's clearly evident that all of us are different. Like every single person who scientifically, you gotta use both. Scientifically, you can, and y'all can research this. Don't take my word for it. Scientifically, just because we're black don't mean we come from the same. Like we're not all the same. Africans are not the same. Like all of us are not the same. But you would never know that unless you study scientifically. And so, you know, as far as like what I've researched and studied in terms of the Adam and Eve story, you know, they were engineered, just like I said earlier, but engineered by more, you know, intellectual beings that were, you know, not from this planet. And if you look at the Bible, you could go in the Bible, like the Bible is good, but you got to decode the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you can decipher the Bible.
Absolutely.
People take the Bible, they take different, even like even slave, you know, during the slave times, you know, the slave masters looked at the Bible, manipulated, you know, what it says. So it, you know, people interpret the Bible differently.
So
you still should break it down though.
So Adam and Eve was a plant in the industry.
No. So, I mean, if you want to get back on that, like what our research was that I forget the actual scientific terminology of Adam and Eve, but like basically the whole story that's in the Bible about, you know, how Adam was created and then Eve was created from his rib. Well, really what it was it was already a civilization that was here, that was already here living, and we didn't have the intellectual minds that we do now. Then, you know what I'm saying? So we were engineered by quote unquote gods that came here, but these guys were people that were like how we are right now. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is that we were engineered through the DNA, and this is where the scientific comes into play. The DNA, you know, they were creating, you know, basically Homo sapiens. They were creating us, and so when they finally got the number one Homo sapien, which would be Adam, you know what I'm saying? From they was trying to create, you know, partner with Adam so that way it could, you know, produce.
Yeah, so the line of family could.
Right, exactly. So basically, if we were engineered, this would make sense to me, right? They were engineered. You get Eve by taking the same DNA, recreate, you pull from Adam. So it says like Eve was created from his rib, right? But really, if you think about it, you go inside the rib where the DNA is at in the bone marrow. Pull that out, boom. Now you recreate this woman from Adam, and now you got two of the first, right? And now you have these two that are basically the templates. Okay. So you take those, put them to the side. Now you recreate, right? Now go back to the Bible. It says that when humans were created by God, right? What did quote unquote God say? Go out and be fruitful.
Multiply.
Right. So you're saying this in Genesis before you're saying there's an Adam and Eve. I don't think nobody really paid attention to that.
You're right.
And so it's saying you're going out to be fruitful. So if you're saying going out to be fruitful, then who are you talking to? See what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's a lot of questions that you can question, but if you are a person who doesn't want to, remember, this is self-work. This is for your own personal truth. Exactly. This is not for truth for me to enforce on anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is for you to be able to understand who you are in God, right? And so if you're taught in Christianity or whatever faith that you in, that God is inside of you, then how else can you get to know the God inside of you if you don't even know scientifically how your body works?
And the thing is, like we were saying, a lot of the stories in the Bible, what we were talking about before earlier, the Bible is a discipline.
Yes.
The Bible is a control.
It's
kind of like
it can be used for control.
It's kind of like, for instance, to not dumb it down, but to talk about human and civilization. All right, there's a group called Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
AA.
Right.
They teach it works from the Bible, right? And it works from Christianity. It was a group that was found in Akron, Ohio, and it keeps people sober, right?
Yeah.
But that keeps them sober through control, right? Yeah. It keeps them sober through brainwashing. Yeah. But sometimes brainwashing is a way to get you to actually do right. Yeah. To actually be productive. So that's that's how religions work to a certain extent. That's how government works. That's how going to college works. It makes you, that's how certain things brainwash you into doing what is civilized.
Yeah, and that's very comprehensible. And then here comes the question behind that: who is the one who created that, and for what reason?
Who's the one that created what?
Think about it. You just said it's used to keep people online so that they can be productive, and this and that and the third. Okay. So what I'm saying is the origin of it. There has to be a purpose. Mm-hmm. So the purpose of creating something that powerful to get people online so that they would be in order and control is for a reason. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so once again, if you go back to science, you can look this up, y'all. Don't just take my word for it. In science, you can go in there and actually look and see that we have a gene that is a actual slave gene that's in us, like literally in us. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I don't want to say a slave gene. I'm gonna more so say a worship gene. Like we have a worship gene that's in us. So it makes us a slave to whatever we worship. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. So now if you go back and you look in the Bible and it says, God is a jealous God. Okay, well, let's think about this. Why would a creator be jealous of what he created? And once again, why would God be a he if everything has duality to it? These are all questions that nobody really asked because one, maybe they don't know where to look. Two, they don't know how to research it. I mean, information is scattered all over the place.
Yeah, but I think coming up, hey, me coming up in the church is
it was just that you don't ask questions, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I hope my father ain't watching this, but
it's just
because my father's a preacher. I grew up in the church. I went to church Tuesday, Thursday, sometimes Saturday for the kid thing, and then Sunday it was all day. So I grew up in the church. My father's a preacher. I mean, you met my father.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with somebody leading the people, at all. I just feel like everybody is a master, of their own fate, captain of their own soul.
And everybody got the right to
Invictus.
But if you don't know, that
was Invictus,
yeah. But if you don't know that's what you are, and you always relying on somebody telling you what you are, then you're a slave to that person who's telling you whether they're holding the title of a good title or not. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the issue that I have. Like if you're a pastor, right, and you have your flock, why isn't your flock on the same level as you, as opposed to them always following you as quote unquote sheep? And as well as I know, sheep needs herders because sheep are not considered to be intelligent.
Right. Yeah.
Man,
I'm like he
question.
That's why, and he researched everything that Darius is a very well educated, very researched guy, and that is the thing that a lot of people get intimidated by when they talk to him. And plus, he's a very, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Darius would be places, we'd be talking, we'd be having a deep discussion, and we'd be back and forth, and they'd be like, oh, they probably mad. No, we having a deep discussion. We have a deep discussion, and they come around and be like, I don't like them because they think they smart. But sometimes they'll
see that's pride. Just like me, I'm listening. I'm soaking it all in or whatever. And a lot of times people think just because they're grown, they can't learn anything.
That's
so the biggest. So you have to put that pride. It's like, hey, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I like to learn.
You can learn.
So
I put you like this, if knowing God is knowing that God is everywhere and everything. So if God is source, right? Then God is not just a he.
Yeah, gotcha.
God is not just a she.
Yeah.
God is both, because you got to have both. Now, if you go into science, right, you look at it down to an atom. What is it? What is an atom made out of?
Atom is made out of.
I'm terrible in science.
No, hold on.
I can tell you. No, it's cool. It's not really bad. I can just say it. You got a neutron, you got a proton, you got an electron, right? Yeah. So proton is positive, right? Yeah. Electron is negative. And then the neutron is neutral. Yep. Right. All right. So now let's take that same concept, right? And you got the Father, the Son,
and the Holy Ghost.
Right. But then let's go to family, right? Which is coming from Kimmy. You got God, Mother, and then who? Or you got God, Father, and then who?
Mother.
Right. You got Mother. And so let's take the same concept again. We working in threes, remember?
Yeah.
Remember, so if you're looking at everything that's going on here, most of it is in threes. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it.
Man.
Most of it is in threes. So that's the thing, like you gotta look at scientifically, science and religion works hand in hand.
Yeah, so basically they coexist.
Yeah, but when you split it apart to learn the difference between the two, or to learn how they unify. You see what I'm saying? Because you, like universal law of duality, right? That means that you can't have one without the other. I said this earlier. So you can't know dark without having light, and you can't know light without having dark.
I've been places with you. Well, I remember, and we were having this conversation.
Pretty consistent, right?
And somebody was like getting mad.
I mean, yeah.
And like they was getting mad. They was like, yeah, they started saying stuff like the Bible said, and they didn't even know what the Bible was saying.
But the thing about it is that the anger is not really towards me. It's just towards the thought.
It's towards the lack of knowledge and the lack of study.
They feel intimidated.
I mean, you could say all those things, but it really is just,
and it makes them question what they've believed their whole life.
Well, it's almost like this, right? Like you said, the Bible preaches about fear, right? So what's the one thing that stops you from doing anything? It's fear, right? Okay, so fear, false evidence appearing real, right? So if you take fear and you face your fear, right, and you start noticing that it's really not.
Hold on, man, you can't just gloss over what you just said.
False evidence appearing real.
Yeah, that's the acronym.
Yeah.
So
you never heard that before?
No, I ain't never heard that before.
Yeah, but
that's because you from Akron.
But the whole thing about it though is like is the fear is not of it. The fear that you think you having is of what you are seeing, what you projecting really onto yourself.
Gotcha.
The problem is that, all right, so we just talking about the enemy, right? You talking about the devil, right? Well, say enemy really, really slow.
Enemy.
Say it slow.
Enemy.
Yeah.
You see that? That's who the enemy is. So
I thought you was about to be.
Yeah, so that's who the enemy is, right?
Beehive was gonna get me or something.
No, you still.
No, it's gonna be like.
You still even. But that's the thing though. Like when you break it down, if you're being taught that God is inside of you, right?
Yeah.
And then I just showed you where the enemy was at, right? And then the Bible describes about who the enemy is, how it's always lurking, never goes to sleep. When never goes to sleep, and what's always lurking, what's always going all the time. What never goes to sleep, that you have actually a part of you.
Your conscience.
It's your brain.
Right. Your conscience.
Exactly.
Your brain is your conscience.
Yeah, absolutely. So think about it. That means that you are both. And that qualifies for what? The universal law of duality. You can't have one without the other. So in order for you to know that you're a good person, what do you gotta sometimes run into? Doing bad things, running into bad people, or doing bad things. In order to know how to walk good, you gotta sometimes walk bad.
You spit now, because we're gonna run into some bad people.
Yeah, I mean everybody. Like even if you live in like a clean life, right? Let's think about it like this. Like let's say you a monk or whatever. Your mind is still creating, so you could be creating all types of stuff in your head, and that's considered quote unquote by certain religions sin, right? Yeah.
So I mean, when I look at the situation, this is like with science and religion. I look at science. Science is like nature based, religion spiritual based, and they both can coexist. It's just like with science, you actually see people do the work. People it's documented what's done and everything. And with religion, it's more spiritual. It's about the work that you put in yourself, the work that working on yourself and what you project and what you believe in and everything.
Which they could coexist.
I do believe they both should coexist. But sometimes you have people that's more spiritual. They kind of like disregard science. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I would say look at it like this, right? Everybody is born with something that they're really good at. Like you got people who's right hand dominant, left hand dominant, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really based on choice if they decide to become the opposite hand dominant and make it what? Ambidextrous, right?
Yeah.
So that's all choice.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
Okay, I'm born left hand dominant, right?
You born left hand?
They tried that whole right hand
when you was a kid?
When I was a kid, and all they did was make me cry.
So, but this is the thing. If it made you cry, you don't know how that crying may have intimidated them. could have discouraged them for you to not. They didn't like see. When it comes to science, that's critical thinking. You become a problem solver if it's a problem.
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure out how to find a solution to something. That's what science does, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now if you look at religion, I told you earlier, was a discipline.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times we combine spirituality with religion because this is how we were taught.
Yeah,
but you got to learn how to separate
Yeah.
spirituality from religion.
Yeah.
Because when you put religion and spirituality together, what you technically doing is putting God in a box.
Yeah.
And God is not in the box.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you run into those people that's just super spiritual, and it's just like you try to show them something science based, and it's just like
most of the time in situations like that, ask a question. Because if they're very overly spiritual, right?
Yeah.
The one thing you want to do is ask questions about what they know so masterly about, right?
Yeah.
And that gives you an understanding to go back and research and try to combine it with what you're strong in. And then now that makes you more of a balanced person now. So if you run into somebody else who's spiritual again, that conversation is going to be different.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be too closed off. Now you're going to be like, oh, well, I learned about this. Let me dive deeper and ask deeper questions. You see what I'm saying? Now, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about comprehension of self. Like, if you know yourself, then now you can have a conversation with somebody who may not understand you and you may not understand them, but you know how to ask the right questions to get the information.
Right.
So that way you two can comprehend and understand each other.
Them
yourself. And then y'all both together overstand what it was that you stood under.
Yeah, that's if you're talking to somebody level-headed, because like you said, sometimes you talk to some people and, you know, they put that pride get in there, they get intimidated, and it's like, it's almost like, I was talking about, it's a competition. Like, a lot of times people don't want to conversate to learn. They want to conversate to, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
Well, I know more.
And sometimes they don't know, and they like, they're intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, they're intimidated. Just like I was having a conversation earlier this week that some people, because I read, we were talking about reading, and then and the person was like, you read so you can know things. Some people read just so they can tell people I read and I know more than you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's intimidating.
Yeah.
That's intimidating to people, but they don't serve themselves a good purpose by doing that, because you could actually help somebody. But people don't really be thinking about it.
Like I said, it all depends on the person you're talking to, because like there's a lot of stuff I don't know and people know more than me, but I don't take it as, you know, I take it as me learning something. You know, I take it as, you know, I can learn something. It could be from a 5-year-old, you know. So I'm never, you know, I'm never too prideful to act like, you know, I know everything and everything. I'm willing to learn. You know, I want to learn.
Yeah, I think learning. I think learning is good. You know, I think scientifically, just to kind of like put everything together between religion and science. I think scientifically, if you become disciplined to learn science and become disciplined to learn religion, and then become disciplined to understand spirituality, and then combine all three, then you won't have this division. Altercation or division between the two. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't have one without the other technically, because you can't understand it or overstand it or whatever, have it a part of you so you can understand it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Without doing the studying and the researching and the asking the questions and coming against, you know, resistance, and just knowing, you know, how to move and manipulate. I mean, not manipulate, but move and maneuver through certain things that may be difficult for others, but it's not difficult for you, but you can show people how to get through that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Great topic. We want to thank you, man. Because we run into that hour. We want to thank you though for coming.
Man,
hey,
everybody,
you know a lot.
Everybody getting y'all books, get them dictionaries, them science, everything.
I'm about to stop reading fiction. I'm about to stop reading fiction because I need to read some books that's like,
Actually, fiction is really good because it's creative.
Yeah, it is very good. No, I read a lot of fiction.
Of course.
I read novels.
And it's messages in fiction.
You know, I can't wait to read this though. Charlemagne told me to read this book. What the internet is
hey, we do this every episode.
What the internet is doing to our brain.
We already know. You ain't got to read a book.
The Shallows. Yeah, but we do want to thank you for coming out. This was a great episode.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Too bad we didn't record it because you had a lot of knowledge that you did not record it. So, you know what I'm saying? Because people going to think you smarter than me if you recorded it. I'm joking. No, he's really smart. I wrote those lines for him before he came. What was the name again that you said? The Dulati Dedato? I wrote that. That's
the Vida Dominante.
Yeah, bless you. But thank y'all for tuning in, and we hope we gave you a really good show. We bring Darius back on. I'm still Biz. Go ahead. What you
be sure that when it come out, check out Savior. Yeah. Check out the first 3 episodes of The Lick.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2. New episodes coming, so make sure y'all go check out all that, support all that too.
Thank you, Darius, for coming. Thank you, Eric, for your recap. I'm just thanking you. But yeah, great episode. Peace. Thought OPPS. Y'all have a good night.
Soundstripe.